Good day, and welcome to Conversations with AARP in the Virgin Islands. I'm Troy Deshabert Schuster, State Director of AARP, and this morning I have with me my special friend, another AARP employee, Ms. Pamela Toussaint. Good day, Pamela. How are you?
I'm good. Good day, Troy. How are you?
Very, very well, thanks. And
Good.
so we wanted to share with you in this special program today a little bit of what we do at AARP in the Virgin Islands. Rather than interview somebody else, we want to tell our story. So, first of all, what do we do in AARP? I, as I mentioned before, I'm the state director of AARP here in the Virgin Islands. So, I coordinate all of the activities, especially the advocacy and community outreach of AARP on St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. And I have working with me three other employees of AARP. I have Pamela, who's here with us on the program today. I have Noemi Garcia and also Sherilyn Pogson. Sherilyn is our senior operations specialist, and so she handles a lot of the logistics and she also plans community outreach programs. Sherilyn makes sure that everything runs smoothly for us, that we are in compliance with AARP policy, etc. Noemi Garcia is the Associate State Director of Communications and Community Outreach. And so she makes sure that we are able and that we are effectively communicating all that we do and all that we have done here within this territory, and also plans community outreach activities primarily in St. Croix, but assist in planning activities on St. Thomas and St. John. And so, Pam, tell us what you do, your full
Sure.
title and what you do.
Thank you so much. And again, this is a great opportunity. I think it's about time we tell our story and the amazing work that we do for ARP, specifically for the Virgin Islands. As you mentioned, my name is Pamela Toussaint. I'm the Associate State Director of Advocacy and Outreach here in the territory. Specifically, when it comes to outreach, my focus is on the St. Thomas St. John district. But as it relates to, I think the most important work that we do, which is advocacy, that is territory wide. In my capacity, one of the things that I focus on a lot is on more of the grassroots advocacy. And many folks may not know what that means, but basically, what that is lobbying, whether it's our government officials, specifically our senators, as well as even the governor, about passing laws or legislation that benefits the people of the Virgin Islands. Now, I know, of course, everybody knows that ARP is about the 50 and older, but as we say in ARP Virgin Islands and ARP, what we do for one, we do for all. So, like I said, my work is focusing on really lobbying for changes within the territory that benefits everyone. So anything that has to do with health, our finances, social security, of course, is a main issue that we focus on. But anything that has to do with advocating for a better way of life for us, that's what I champion that for the state office. So yeah, a lot of work, but great work, great work.
Excellent. Yes. And also, not only are you the Associate State Director of Advocacy, but also community outreach,
Yes,
and
yes,
primarily community outreach for St. Thomas, St. John.
correct, correct.
Yes. And so I I wanted to share with you, the listening audience, as to what is AARP. Whenever we ask people what is AARP, the first thing they say is that AARP is for old people and insurance. And both of those are wrong. We're not about old people and insurance. First of all, we don't consider anybody to be old. We don't consider anybody to be old. We are all about helping people to live their best life no matter what age they are. These days, people are living longer and longer. As a matter of fact, insurance actuarials are now going up to the age of 125. Can you believe that? Insurance companies are now expecting people to live in even right now and in the near future, up to an age of 125. So what is old? 80 is not old anymore. 90 is not old anymore. Furthermore, we're not about insurance. We don't sell insurance. AARP is not an insurance company. We're not an insurance agency. We get a lot of questions about insurance, and unfortunately, we cannot answer those questions. AARP works along with United Healthcare and other insurance companies, and they brand those products with the AARP brand, but we do not provide insurance. So I know that everybody loves to come to us to ask about that, but please don't, because we cannot answer those questions for you. We're not an insurance company. AARP is a social change organization. That's what we're all about. We're all about bringing about social change all across the United States and in the territories of Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the United States Virgin Islands. And we bring about social change through our advocacy and community outreach. Now, AARP has other divisions. We have AARP Services Incorporated, which is the branch of AARP that works on bringing in the money, the financial resources that we need to do our work, and deals with membership and other um, benefits and so forth for AARP members. There's also the AARP Foundation. The AARP Foundation works to provide various programs across the country, like the driver safety program, to help older people to learn how to be safer drivers. We also have the drive to end hunger among older people, and the list goes on from there. And then there's mainline AARP, which is the division that Pam and I work for. And again, the focus of that is on advocacy and community outreach. But the pinnacle of our work is the advocacy. That's the main work that we do. And talking about advocacy, a lot of people don't really understand what that word means and what it means to AARP. But I always say that we are lobbyists. We lobby everywhere from Capitol Hill to every state and municipality across the country and in those territories of Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So we work to get bills passed and enacted, bills that are impactful, bills that bring about a better life for the older population. We say older, not old, older, 50 plus population. And as Pam rightly pointed out, what we do for one, we do for all. So it really affects people of all ages.
Absolutely.
So that's basically what we do on the advocacy or the lobbying side. When it comes to community outreach, we plan various workshops, educational programs to to provide people with the tools that they need to live their best life. And we do lots of those community outreach programs, workshops throughout the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John. We don't do a whole lot on Water Island yet, but maybe one of these days we'll start doing more activities there.
We're
Of course, it's
coming.
a small island. Yeah. As
Soon to
Pam
come.
said, we're coming. So Pam, tell us
Sure.
something now about our local advocacy, the lobbying that we do here, especially our recent win that we just
Sure,
experienced here.
absolutely. I mean, it's an amazing, like I said, we do amazing work on a national level. You mentioned, working on Capitol Hill, but locally, we advocate for our 22,000 plus members. So a lot of people might be surprised, but we have over 22,000 members within the territory. And our advocacy work extends not just for them, but like I said earlier, for folks, for the entire territory in a whole. And I'm excited because most recently we had several wins, but one I think for me that stood out among the many that we've had so far for this year. And I think I need to backtrack a little bit and just explain what a win is. And basically what it is a an issue or a legislation that we see that we needed to work with whether it's a sitting senator or even a governor, as you mentioned earlier, in trying to see how we can bring about some sort of social change by enacting a law. So when we talk about a win, that's what that is something that becomes law, and again provides for betterment of our society in a whole. And most recently, we worked alongside one of the sitting senators, Senator Digazan, in passing an anti-elder abuse um, bill focusing specifically on financial exploitation. And the reason why that, for me, was such a vital bill, and I'm excited at the fact that it was passed. I mean, I'm disappointed in the fact that this is even something that we have to do, but it does exist. And within the last year, we've seen that financial exploitation against our seniors is on the rise. And simply put, it's something that needs to stop. And AARP has been working over a year now, actually, with the senator to come up with a bill that addresses financial exploitation. And about a week ago, our Governor Bryan, he signed into law that financial exploitation bill. And what it does is it looks at additional repercussions for folks who intentionally, and I use that word because, like I said, somebody who goes out intentionally trying to exploit our older Virgin Islanders of their assets that they've worked so hard for. I mean, it's very hard to come about with, whether it's your home or just your financial income, and for someone to literally target a vulnerable individual, it's shameful. I mean, it's unfortunate that it happens, but that is why AARP is here. That is why we worked hard with the senator, along with the Department of Human Services and their Adult Protected Services, to bring about amendment and some sort of change, and which resulted in the Act 8318. And we have that information up on our website if folks need to, look at what that bill entails. But like I said, it addresses financial exploitation and the repercussions for those who intentionally go out there to harm our senior citizens, our most valuable citizens. I mean, these are people who are the foundation of our community, and it's up to us to protect them. And that's one of the things too for me that I love about AARP. It's about not just empowering people, but it's about protecting the most vulnerable, whether it's our senior citizens or even disabled adults. I mean, I myself, I have a sister who's disabled, and to know that if someone can take advantage of her, what are some of the stopgaps that we can do to help her and protect her and other people like her? And that's what this bill does. So I am extremely passionate about it. I mean, like I said, I have a disabled sister. Of course, I have my parents that are here, and I can see how someone can take advantage. And it's always my duty to, as their daughter and their sister. And even now, in my capacity at AARP, I feel that I'm the daughter and the sister of the entire territory. It's our duty to just do that, to, support them and make sure that they are protected from those people, because they're out there, and it's just unfortunate, but it happens. And I really need to thank the senator and the Department of Human Services for this collaboration that resulted in a win. And I will say one of the other things that we're doing is, yeah, we've already started this because of the financial exploitation, because of what we have seen has been going on. We are now working on a more comprehensive bill, and the comprehensive bill for just elder abuse, it's not just going to focus on financial abuse. We're going to look at physical abuse, because that does happen. We're going to look at emotional abuse, that happens as well, which entails like neglect and whatnot, and even sexual abuse. There's a whole gamut of abuse that takes place against our seniors, and it's up to us to take a stand. And that's what we're doing. We're taking a stand, and this comprehensive bill that we're going to be working on, that I know for sure is going to, just like this one, be supported by our senators as well as our governor. It's going to pass. I have no doubt about it. But again, it's a comprehensive bill that we're working on, because we're going to bring about change. Somebody needs to take a stand, and AARP Virgin Islands is going to do just that. And it's the support of not just us. We mentioned Department of Human Services. We're talking with, Department of Justice. So again, it's a comprehensive bill. So if someone is going to be even thinking about doing something to one of our, vulnerable population, be careful. ARP is standing guard for sure.
Right, absolutely. And not only working with various government agencies, but also with various other community partners like the Women's Coalition is
Absolutely.
also
Absolutely.
part of all of these
Hmm.
stakeholders meetings and so forth. DVSAC,
Yes.
domestic violence. I should know what DVSAC is. That's an embarrassing moment, but it's all about domestic violence.
Yes. Yes.
They're,
And
they're the
prevention.
educational arm that works along with the Women's Coalition and the
Hmm.
Family Resource Center in St. Thomas, etc.
Hmm. The
So
VIPD. I mean, all of these
the
folks who
VIPD.
have a stake in, making sure that this comprehensive version of this bill comes out, they're going to be a part of this coalition. But
Right.
yeah.
But I also want to jump back a moment to the win that you just talked about, that we just had this new bill, this new act, and in particular, it decreases the threshold. It lowers the threshold for what's considered a felony. So now, if anybody swindles even just $500 out of an
Hmm.
elderly person, that's considered a felony.
Absolutely.
At one point, $500 was a misdemeanor.
Hmm.
Now it's a felony. So if you abuse an older person, even just for $500, you can go to
To
jail.
jail. Hmm.
You will serve time in prison.
Hmm.
So do not, do not, do not. I was actually
Hmm.
trying to push it down to zero, to $0, to $1,
Hmm.
right? To $1, because for a lot of older people, even $1
It's
means a lot.
a lot. It is a lot.
I'll never forget this one older gentleman came into our AARP office and he was, quite upset about a variety of things. And he told me that all he had to his name was $760. That was all the money he owned. He was not even able to collect Social Security
Oh.
because he was doing like basic labor all of his life. He was helping somebody do like basic construction, basic handyman work, and nobody was paying into Social Security for him, right? So he was not able to collect a Social Security check. And all he had was $760. Now imagine how precious $1 is to that
Absolutely.
older gentleman.
Absolutely.
$1.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of younger people these days, they just think that older people have a lot of money or they don't need their money, and they just extract it from them in all kinds of terrible ways. And it's really devastating to them. Very, very, very devastating.
Hmm.
But anyhow,
Hmm.
right
It
now
is.
the law is $500 and up is a felony. So we're
Hmm.
happy we've made this kind of progress. And as we work on this more comprehensive bill, we might lower that threshold even more. And as you said, Pam, looking at all of the different aspects
All,
of
all of it.
elder
Right.
abuse,
Hmm.
especially neglect.
Yes.
As you know, Pam, I was on the hospital board and you worked in the hospital in HR. And how often did we hear of people who were just abandoned in the hospital,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
They end up becoming hospitalized and the family doesn't even look back for them.
No.
They're in the hospital for a year, two
For
years,
years. Some as most as 10 years.
as
Their
much as
family
10
just turned
years.
their exactly. They turned their backs on them.
It's gross neglect. I
Hmm.
mean, where are we supposed to put these people? Right? Herbert Grigg can't take them in because they've been at capacity for a long time.
For a long time. Correct.
These people, oftentimes, they don't even need to go to Herbert Grigg. They can
Hmm.
do well at home with some assistance, but the family claims that they don't have time. They have to work. They got their
Hmm.
children to take care of. They have all of these issues, so they claim, and they
Correct.
leave their loved one in the hospital.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
a disappointing part about that too is, I mean, when you look at the statistics, a lot of times the persons who's committing the perpetrators are family members. So they would abandon them, but they wouldn't abandon their finances. They would have access to their social security benefits and the retirement benefits. So they would have access to that, and they would neglect them. but yet still, they're their family members. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, the statistics say that it tends to be your family members are the number one perpetrators. And, then it goes on, like you said, from the mental abuse, the physical abuse. You could imagine. And so some people are experience a wide gamut of abuse, from financial to physical to emotional. All of these things are happening, right here, and some of it is people, a lot of people sometimes that we know, um, our family members are victims, our associates, people that, we have relationships with, our very own neighbor might be someone who is being neglected. That's a form of abuse. That's a form of abuse, and again, it's just us as an organization, and just as a people, as a territory, we have to take care of our vulnerable. And that's what we're here to do. And wins like this, is what I think. I mean, Troy, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, this is why we wake up every day. And this is why we continue to do what we do, because we have to take a stand and we have to make things better for our people. And it's not just talking about it, it's actually showing up and showing out and getting it done.
Absolutely. And as you know, Pam, I mean, you've been with AARP for almost a year now.
Almost a
Uh,
year. Wow.
Time has flown, how we were
It
talking about
has.
that
It has.
earlier.
It has. It has. Yes.
And like I always say that when you work for a company that makes such a difference in the lives of people, and you enjoy making a difference in the life of people, you look forward to coming into work, right?
They do.
I mean, even when we work on Saturday and Sunday, work into the evenings, we don't even stop to think about what time, and we don't get no overtime pay,
No.
right? But we just enjoy doing what we
Yeah.
do, making
Mhm.
a difference in the lives of so many people, and it's so motivating. And what a
Mm.
blessing it is to
It is.
have AARP, an organization like this in the United States,
Mhm.
in the Virgin Islands, and what an even greater blessing to work for an organization like this,
Mhm.
to bring about a change in people's lives, and to help and to defend so many people, especially our vulnerable population. And so we have some upcoming things. Uh,
Yes, we do.
we hope
We
to
do.
experience 2 more wins this year. So, why don't you tell us about 2 of our bills on
Sure.
the horizon here, Pam?
I know. I mean, I talked about the elder abuse bill, and like I said, I take that one real personal because of, just my parents and, like I said, my disabled sister. But there's some other bills that we've been working on, and I will say that the member of the Senate has been very supportive a lot of these initiatives, and two that were is on the horizon, and we're hoping that pretty soon it'll be heard by the body, which is the Commission on Aging. And what that is, it's a body of about 11 members, including some members of the government, um, Human Services, VIPD, but it also extends to community members. And ARP, of course, is one of them that will be seated at the table, but community members from throughout the territory, looking at how people age and looking at issues of anything from healthcare, transportation, finances, anything that can help someone along the spectrum of aging is what this commission is going to be concerned about and working to develop legislation. So it's a one-stop shop that is, we're hoping that it could come out of the office of the governor, seated there, because again, the importance of it really needs to take place. And we've seen that, with the pandemic that we're dealing with right now, and even the natural disaster that we had in 2017 with Maria and Irma, hurricanes Maria and Irma, we needed a central place that whether it's our seniors or even younger individuals can go to that are having some sort of difficulties, and where they can get the immediate help. That is what that commission is doing. It's going to look at, like I said, the entire spectrum of aging. So someone from birth to, until the time they leave this earth, and anyone in between that have issues of Anything from, there's financial issues, financial concerns, security, you name it. This commission is going to be looking at that. So we're really excited about that. And we've been working with Senator Myron Jackson out of St. Thomas for quite some time on that. So we're hoping that within the next month or so, that should be something or a bill that would be heard in this current legislature, sorry. And unanimously, that's always our goal, that it passes through with all senators voting favorably for that. Another one that we're also looking at is complete streets. And it's complete streets policy has been around for quite some time. The Virgin Islands, now we're paying attention to it, but many other states have looked at the complete streets policy. And what that is, because I myself, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, complete streets, what does that focus on? And what this bill does, it encourages local planning agencies, specifically in our case, Department of Public Works, to change policies and procedures to assure that accommodations for multiple travel modes. So anyone who is, walking, someone who's biking, or someone who's taking the bus, or even someone who is, like I mentioned, public transportation, or just traveling by automobile. This bill looks at how do we make these roads or these streets interconnect, where every mode of travel is accommodating, and things about, we look at, something as simple as, is the signage correct? Is lighting on these particular roads correct? Is it adequate to ensure the safety and the ease of transportation, or ease of mode of transportation for individuals exist? So those two bills, the Complete Streets policy, as well as the Commission on Aging, is on the horizon. So look out for those. Those are being heard pretty soon.
Yeah, and there's so much more to say about those two bills, and we will be doing another program, and we'll probably do like one whole program on complete streets, another entire program on the Commission on Aging, because there's a lot included in that, and the community needs to be aware of that. But also, we do a lot in general here in the Virgin Islands, and I invite all of you to always check out our AARP Virgin Islands Facebook page. We put up lots of posts on that Facebook page. Every day we're putting up posts, lots and lots and lots of information. So please, if you're on Facebook, visit AARP Virgin Islands and like our Facebook page.
That's
Also,
important.
very important. Also, stay tuned to these broadcasts every Tuesday morning. We're doing this here on Facebook Live on AARP Virgin Islands, and also WTJX. Later in the week, it'll be on WTJX radio, and then it's also televised on Channel 12. These same programs televised twice. So stay tuned to the WTJX Facebook page for these particular programs, but look at AARP Virgin Islands for all the other things that we're doing. So we're coming now to the end of this program. Thanks so much for listening to us, Pam.
Wow,
Thanks for
that
being
went by
with us
quickly. We have so
quickly.
much information. We really have to do this again, Troy.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be doing this over and over again. But
Yeah,
thanks for being with us today, Pam, and sharing with us your passion and your love for AARP.
thank
And
you
see you next
for
week,
having me.
Tuesday, right here again. Okay.
Take
Have
care.
a great day. Bye bye.